Namaste and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge weekly meeting. This meeting is a part of the free and online Essence of Knowledge program, which is for the seekers of knowledge. And in these meetings, I try to answer your questions and clear your doubts. And we conduct activities of the program here. If anybody has any question, any doubt, any difficulties in the practices or in the program, they are most welcome to ask here. All questions are most welcome. Sunil is asking regarding yesterday's question on contemplation. Is truth a thought, true or false? I wrote false, but answer is true. Let me check. Truth is only a thought, true or false. And the answer that is written here is true. Truth is subjective and arbitrary. It is a tool for removing ignorance. Ultimately, nothing is true and nothing is false in existence. Yes, totally depends on at what level we are talking about the truth. So at the highest level, which the answer is suggesting, at the highest level, true and false are man-made concepts because they are subjective and arbitrary. The existence never says that this part of me is true and that part is not true. Existence never says. Humans say this. Seeker says it. So the answer that is given there is from the highest level where the true and false is not really defined. So it simply appears as a thought in the mind of a person. But at the level of duality, it is clearly defined. The truth is experiencer. Sunil is saying I compared truth with experiencer. Yes. And Sunil is saying I think thought is only a part of experience. Yes. So at the level of duality where the division is made, now true and false can be defined because they are dual things, dual concept. If something is true, that means something else is false. If something is false, that means there must be something which is true. So it is defined at the level of duality, and there it comes out to be the experiencer. Still, many people will say it is a thought in the mind. We have chosen to define it like this, then the unchanging will be called true. And there is something which is unchanging, yes, the experiencer, so I'll call it true. However, the experiencer never says I am true, I am the truth. So inherently there is nothing like this. But you can always find that there is a true part in the experience, in the existence. Why is there a need to find the truth? Why is there a need to define it, find it? And because this is the human nature. We want to know the truth, not the existence, not the experiencer. We want to know the truth, that is the curiosity. You can say activity of the mind. Curiosity is the activity of the mind. And it tries to know something. So it goes on dividing the experience into true and false. And finally, it finds that everything is changing. So according to this criterion, nothing is true. But there is a background of the change, which is simply the witness of the change. Then we say, yes, that is not changing. That is the truth. So we get an answer to this question. That's all it does. The seeker is seeking the truth, and the guru says, yes, I'll tell you. You need to decide on proper criteria. What are you going to call as true? And then the guru says, look, if it is real, it must be real in all context. It must be real in all situations. Otherwise, it is not logical to say it is true. This is how this concept is made. And so, in all the situations, in all the contexts, only the experiencer remains unchanging. So, even though we find the truth, and it is very logical, it is perfect, it is good, there is nothing wrong here, still, it totally depends on the seeker, the person who is seeking the truth. In this existence, there is nothing fundamental which is seeking the truth. There is no real need also. It looks very paradoxical, yes. We want to find the truth. We find the truth. Yes. We get that knowledge of what is true, what is false. But it turns out to be our own decision. Now, here, there will be many, many views. Why? Because this concept of true and false is arbitrary, subjective. So some people will say, no, there is a truth out there. Something is true out there. Some people will say, yes, something is true, but it cannot be known. Some people will say there are many things that are true. For example, this world and that thing which made the world, created the world, created us all. You are also true. You see, now you can see that there are different viewpoints. If there is difference of opinion, one thing is sure that it is subjective. I know that people on the path of knowledge are completely convinced that I found the real truth. But people on other paths are also completely convinced that their truth is the real truth. It causes a lot of problems, isn't it? So, is there no true? Nothing true in existence? Is there nothing false in existence? And we have found a solution to that problem. Yes, it can appear like this, that some things are true, some things are not true. It is very useful. It is useful if you want to know what is true, what is unchanging. It is very useful for survival also, for seeking the proper path, for spiritual progress. Yes, very useful. However, after the use is over, when you reach the ultimate, which is both true and false, and not both at the same time, then that true and false division is dropped. Now you come in silence, stillness. It doesn't matter what is true, what is false. Both are me. That is what matters. And some people will say, no, there is no me also. There is this pure being. That's all. So it is your liking now, like dislike. If you reach here, you can define anything as true, depending on the utility. For our day-to-day life, yes, whatever is appearing here, the world, the body, etc., is taken as truth. So it is a matter of philosophy, yes. It is not something absolute. Still, we say it is the absolute truth, because that is our philosophy, that is our path. I know it is not very convincing. People want one truth. Tell me the truth. It is not that easy. So we use the criteria of truth as a ladder to reach pure state, which is simply being or unknowing. There I say that I don't know what is true. I don't know what is false. Or some people will say, whatever floats your boat is true, which simply means whatever is useful to achieve your goal is true. So that is why our lesson starts like this, that truth is an idea and logic, and it is subjective, arbitrary, based on some dichotomy, or you can say in simple words, based on a simple division which is made by the intellect. Categorization of experiences. It is defined like this in our program. What happens is, if we choose a very strict criteria, all the experiences become false. And then we are left with our essence, nature. That discovery is what we wanted. That is what we wanted. We want to find our true nature. And then with this criteria, the word nature and truth, they become same. They are synonyms now, nature and truth. And that is synonym only on the path of knowledge, nowhere else. So I tried to clarify, but hopefully it is not more confusing. You need to use a suitable criteria and then drop it after reaching the final step. You need to drop it. Do not carry it with you. So 3 levels of truth are given in our program. The first is called transactional truth or relative truth, where the illusion, whatever we call as illusion or the experience, is taken as true, because that is what is useful. Second is the dual level, where truth is defined clearly, and which is the experiencer. Essence, nature, same thing. At the final level, it is dropped. Now this sentence becomes true that there is only being, there is only a presence, that's all, which is empty. This statement becomes truth. Some people will call it absolute truth. Even after dropping that idea, you can pick it up again simply to say something about the existence. However, it is not accurate. The real description of the existence is silence. It is better not to say anything. Finally, don't call it true, don't call it false, don't say that there are divisions. I found something. The person who is saying I found something is also somewhat ignorant, isn't it? There's nothing to find here. And then the words like absolute and relative and all, they are simply steps to this silence. Silence is the answer. Silence means you have silenced your thought also. There is nothing to think also. Okay, Shaila is asking, so the answer should be addressed both dual and non-dual perspectives. Yes, 3 perspectives are there. You can have more, but 3 are enough, I think. In the illusion is true. At the level when you want to know your true nature, essence, then yes, the experiencer is the truth. But when you learn about the non-duality, you stop worrying about these things. It is pure bliss. Okay, Sunil is saying, in non-dual it is false. When such questions are there, do we have to answer them both in terms of dual and non-dual concept? Yes. If it is ambiguous, if it is causing a little bit of confusion, at what level it is said, then it is better to answer from both levels or all the 3 levels, including the illusion, level of illusion. That is what is done in our program, so that it becomes really clear. Again, this is somewhat confusing and paradoxical. It also sounds impractical because we need something which is true, isn't it? I say there is no time, time is false. Then I say our next meeting is 8 o'clock tomorrow. How is that possible? It's a contradiction. Will there be 8 o'clock meeting? Because if there is no time, how can you meet at 8 o'clock? It will never happen. So what is true? It totally depends on where you are out of these 3 levels. That is why there is so much argument about what is true, what is not. People do not agree about truth. Very natural. That is very natural because it is our thought only, our idea. Instead of telling seekers, don't try to find the truth. There is no truth. You can make up your own truth. Nobody will join the program. Because every seeker wants to know the truth. So something is given and we choose the highest kind of truth, which takes you to your nature. Once the nature is known, nobody wants to know what is true and false. It is so satisfying. So I think a better terminology will be nature and names and forms. Essence and names and forms. That is also used traditionally. Instead of all this business of true and false, what is true and false, you simply say, I want to know my essence and I want to know how it is different from the names and forms. However, the seekers don't have this kind of terminology. The seekers do not have these ideas about essence and names and forms and so on, or the changing and unchanging aspects in the existence. They do not have that background. What they want, I want the truth. So we start somewhere, okay, let us find, and we take them through a proper path, how to find the truth. At the level of non-duality, all these things are dropped. Because what do we say? Nothing is changing at the highest level, isn't it? And the experiencer is not separate from what appears to be changing. So, since it is only one, there is no question of true and false. It is not true and it is not false. This will silence the mind, nothing else. This will bring you into stillness. Did you find the truth? No. The search is over. That's all. That's what happened. It was seen that the search was somewhat meaningless. But it was not totally meaningless. You found the nature. You found the final knowledge. I mean, the words are now becoming meaningless here. So, yes, silence. You found the silence. Sometimes we call it unknowing, agnostic place, which is the highest. But yes, some people are not satisfied with it, and they are free to call it true, ultimate truth, or whatever they want to call it. It is anyway subjective. It is good to not discuss what is true and what is not in public. That's it. That is my advice. You found whatever you found, you keep it with you. As soon as you say, look, this is the ultimate truth, this is what I came to know, you will find 100 people are there who will say, no, that is not true, something else is true. That kind of truth is not practical. It only causes conflicts or difference of opinions. So you simply agree upon something, get the job done. That is why truth cannot be told. Nobody tells you the truth. The Guru will always encourage you to find your own truth. They will say, don't take my truth, it is mine. Find your own. And then they help. The Gurus simply help. They point out what is wrong here. So, on the path of knowledge, our job is not really to find the truth. Our job is to abide in what I am, to dispel the ignorance. That is the only goal here. Nothing will be known. Sunil is asking, in our path of knowledge, is awareness mean some remembering I am experiencer? Is awareness also mean to be aware of the experiences around like environment, body, breath, mind, etc.? Yes, it simply means remember who you are. If you want to pay attention to whatever is appearing around, remember it is an illusion. That's all. It is very simple. Another way to say this is remain in knowledge. Whenever you find something, whether it is yourself or something outside, environment, body, etc., bring the knowledge back. Remember the knowledge, what it is. That's all. Like turn on the light bulb. See everything in the light of knowledge. That is the meaning of awareness. And some people will call it witnessing. Witness. There is no need to pay attention to each and everything or specific things. No need. Just pay attention to whatever needs your attention. That's all. In complete knowledge, complete remembrance. Sunil is saying, I can focus on either experience or experiencer, but with knowledge. Yes, you can say like this. Yes, it is easier than focusing. Because when we say we are focusing on something, it means we are doing something. But awareness is not doing anything, just being what you are, remembering, that's all. What do you need to do to remember? Nothing. Where do you need to focus? Nowhere. So it is not an exercise and not a job, nothing to be done, not physically, not mentally. Do not do, just be. That is awareness. Remember, there is ness there. Ness, ness. It means it's a state of mind. That's all it is. Not an action, not physical action, not mental action, like attending, focusing, ignoring, and nothing. It is a state of mind. Being in knowledge. If you forget and a thought comes in the mind that the world is real, I want these and these things, and a thought comes in your mind that I am this body mind, my name is this, immediately dispel them, immediately remove them and get established in knowledge again. Remove that state of mind, ignorant state of mind, dark state of mind, and turn on the light. It does not require anything except remembering. What will you remember? This is the question. I forgot, let me check the lessons, let me check the notes. No. No. You are here and now, and the experience is also here and now. Remembering is not searching the memory or searching some other word. He told me to remain aware. I forgot what I am called. Was it Atman, Brahman, experiencer, existence, witness, Sakshi? What was it? That is not remembering. Person is trying to remember a word, a name. You are not a word. You are not a name. You are right now, right here. Remember only this much. What is it? So it takes less than a second actually. Remembering takes less than a second. And then again the darkness comes sometimes. Again change it to light. So hopefully everybody understands these words, light and darkness, because they are metaphorical. You will never see a real light, light bulb, or you will never find darkness. These are metaphors for knowledge and ignorance. So whenever I say light of knowledge, it is metaphorical. It simply means there is knowledge of what is happening. That's all. There is memory, there is remembrance of what is happening. So what if I don't remember who am I? What will be the consequence? And then for such people, something simpler is recommended. At least don't become the body mind. At least do not believe that the world and objects and people are real. If you don't know who you are and if you cannot recall, and don't be that which you are not. Probably that is more difficult, but sometimes that is recommended. Sunil is saying, when I am continuously aware of knowledge, then I think I will mostly be in present moment. Am I correct? There is no other moment to be in. There is only present moment. Even if you are not aware, even if there is no knowledge, where is everything? When is everything? It is always this moment. So these are add-ons to the awareness. Awareness is really simple. If you join the present moment, I'll be there in present. These are unnecessary complications. It is very simple. I am. That's all. And then some people will say, are you telling me that don't be in present moment in awareness? And no, that is also not implied here. Be in your natural state, but turn on the light. Yes, that's all. Be whatever you are right now, in whatever way you are, whether in present or past or future, does not matter. Remain in light of knowledge. If you find that, no, I am not able to come in present moment, this practice is faulty and so on, then nothing can be done, you see, because this practice is not meant to do all these things. It is not meant to bring you in present moment, and it's not meant to remove mental issues and physical issues. No, nothing. It is not a meditation. Simply remember. See, because it is so simple, people keep on adding things on it and then they fail in awareness practice. That is why probably you take 20 days to listen all the lessons, but we keep you for 3 months in the step number 4. That is, some people must be getting tired of all this reporting, and because it takes 1 month only to understand how simple it is. They keep doing something. The initial reports are like this. I was busy in work, so I could not do the awareness practice. What does that mean? Awareness practice was not understood. Then somebody says, I was not well, so I did not do the awareness practice. That also means it was not understood what it is. It is easier than breathing. When you are working, do you forget to breathe? When you are not well, do you stop breathing? No. It is easier than that. So how does that happen? How is it possible that you are busy and you are not well, and you are talking to somebody and the awareness is not there? How is that possible? Awareness practice was not understood. It was misunderstood as doing something. It is not doing. It is non-doing. It was misunderstood as an effort to be something, to get somewhere. It is not an effort. It is effortless. If I keep talking like this, probably nobody will understand. So what do? We tell them this is awareness practice, and we wait for them to discover. It is like a nectar. It is like turning on the headlights of your car at night. That's all it is. It is just sweetness, peace and bliss. Whatever you have added on that, focusing, breathing, present moment, that is all a burden. It is not a practice. So when I say actually there are no practices on the path of knowledge, yes, because this awareness does not look like a practice. It is your most natural state. To be in knowledge is your most natural state. To be the experiencer. Why? Why it is most natural? Because that is what you are. What is unnatural? To be as a body-mind machine and to interact with the world as if it is real, as if it is your home, as if it is really true, not a dream. And that is unnatural. So come back to your natural state. Come back home. It is a resting place, not a doing place, doing effortful thing. So my suggestion to Sunil is, you will learn about it at step number 4. Right now, your job is to verify the knowledge, not worry about practices. Those who are doing the practice, they will see that it is easier than breathing. It is very easy. And some people will say, why to do it? What is the point of it? Because it's really meaningless, isn't it? You are what you are. Now, how much can you remember that? I am this, I am that, I am this. No need to do it like this. Then, whenever it is needed, the memory comes, remembrance happens. When it is not needed, you enjoy your life. Life is momentary, isn't it? Momentary. Nothing will happen. Shaila is asking, absence of knowledge is a subjective knowledge. Then why is it refuted as a valid means of knowledge? Very good question. If you want to prove that something is absent, you need to check it, which means you need a direct experience of it. Then you say, this thing is not there. It is my experience that this thing is not there. So it is only a direct experience, but negative experience. That's all. So is it not a valid means of knowledge? It is valid means of knowledge traditionally, but it is not required because it is found. It is found that it is simply experience. Without experience, you cannot say that something is absent. For that, usually I give this example of water bottle in the fridge. So you want the water bottle, you open the fridge, you don't find it. There is absence. Absent, it is absent. So you say, I know there is no water bottle here. What is that? It is an experience. However, it is being compared with the memory, past memory where the bottle was there. Now the bottle got removed. Somebody took it. Now the knowledge happened. It is not there. This is called absence. So without experience, direct experience, you cannot even say that something is absent. And there is obviously a logical process going on that memory is involved here. Your memory says it was there. Now it is not there. So that is the process of logic that is happening here. So what is it essentially? Absence and direct experience and logic. How this is applied on the path of knowledge? We say that the experiencer has no qualities. This is a negative statement, isn't it? Or you can say qualities are absent in the experiencer. Why? Because we expect something. I want to find a quality there. Large, small, hot, cold, and good, bad, whatever you see. Honest, dishonest. I want to find something, but I check it. I get a direct experience that there is nothing. I can't see anything. So this will be called absence. However, it is the same thing. Hopefully it is clear. Some people will take a shortcut and say, yes, this whole process of finding something and not finding something, you can call it one thing, absence, and make it a means of knowledge. Yes, okay, fine. I find it somewhat redundant, or not so clear. What do they mean by that? I was not very clear. So according to this kind of interpretation of absence, it is simply experience of some kind. Neelam is asking, in the early part of step 4 of awareness practice, I too mistook it as some effortful practice. Then it clicked suddenly later when Guruji explained and cleared the doubt. Yes, I can go on explaining what it is, but nobody understands it. It is something which you will see yourself. What is the job of the Guru here in this practice? The Guru will keep reminding you, this is wrong, that is not practice. But the student will say, why don't you tell me what is this practice? What do I need to do? So it happens one day. Don't worry. It is not a problem for some people. Some people, as soon as they get self realization, the awareness appears. They are in awareness from that day without practicing it. It is not a practice. How much practice it takes for a man to remain as a man, for a woman to remain as a woman? Can you call it a practice? Today I am practicing to be a man. Not possible, isn't it? Same way, if you are the experiencer, how much practice it will take? So someday they will get it. Someday people get it. Keep doing it. Even if it is not doing, I keep telling you, keep practicing. Somewhere there is still association or identification with the body mind. That is why the awareness is not becoming natural. So we wait. What else can we do? If somebody knows some trick, please let me know. The only trick I know is to keep interrupting that person that look, you are not that. You forgot who you are. That's what I keep doing. People, they come in a satsang, everything, the listening happened, exam happened, verification happened. Now they are practicing. They say, how to stop birth and death? So it is a good question, but what has happened here? They forgot that there is no birth and death. The mind will do this. Yes. So first thing I do is I tell them, look, and there's nothing like this. Know your true nature. Remember who you are. And then I go ahead and tell them how to stop it. Because I know they will come back again asking for a method to stop it. And this job is very difficult to keep people aware. So you do it yourself. I don't interfere too much. Yes, there is the only thing that can go wrong here is that you do something else instead of awareness. You assume that it is a job of some kind and start doing it without asking me. That is the danger. What is the danger? Waste of time, isn't it? And the effects do not come then. So always ask me. Now you will appreciate why there is reporting in step number 4. Earlier it was not there. I saw these problems are coming, so the weekly report is there. Sometimes I come to know that people are not really in awareness. The mind is playing tricks. I come to know and then I get a chance to do the correction. Otherwise, I'll never come to know what is happening. And the other option that I told, don't be a body mind, that is equal to saying that if you are a man, don't be a woman today. Practice not assuming that I am a woman or a dog or cat. Be the man. Probably some people will understand this, that it is a negative practice. It is a negative practice. Catch yourself whenever you fall in ignorance. This is the practice. That is easy, isn't it? It is not a doing of some kind. It is a correcting of our mental state. The state should be of awareness. That's all. Nothing needs to be done. And this is what is appearing in this illusion right now. What is the logical action here? Then do it. That also must happen in awareness. So this will be the effect of awareness, that it will prevent the unnecessary things, unnecessary thoughts, speech and action. It has a purifying effect, but it will not make you a statue, rock. So giving 1 or 2 examples can be misleading. So one sentence is enough. Live your life in awareness. Simple. Don't do this. Don't be that. Don't think like this. No, these are descriptions are not good. Because life is very dynamic. Anything can happen here and action cannot be avoided. Awareness is not a specific kind of lifestyle or doing something instead of something else. You live your life, your simple life, ordinary life, but in awareness, but in knowledge. This is how it is right now. That's all you need to remember. Whatever you feel is the right action, do it. You cannot stop the actions. It will happen. The only freedom this creature has is to become aware of what is happening. Because there is no doer ultimately. It is all happening automatically. Why do we call it body-mind machine? It is a machine. The actions happen depending on what is stored in the memory. That is called the impressions. Our impressions, they cause thoughts, speech, and action through the body. It is automated. There is no doer. There is no freedom. The only freedom is to come back in our true nature. Nothing else can be done. There is no doer to do anything. So let your life happen. Do not interfere, but let it happen in light of knowledge. That is awareness. Anu is saying, I felt that awareness practice helped me avoid negative reaction and messing things up by reacting with anger. Yes, that is a practical use of awareness practice. That it will make everything equal. Like you gave an example of good and bad are equal. Yes. Happiness, suffering equal. Somebody is born in your house, baby. The effect of awareness is equalizing. You will not start jumping with joy. No, you will be happy a little bit. Somebody died in your house, you will not go mad with sadness. You will not become depressed. Yes, you will feel a little bit of loss. Suffering will be equalized. But the necessary will happen. You see, if the birth happened, you will arrange a party, you will invite people and so on. You see, you will do the needful. That's what we say. Other words, the necessary happens. Death happened, yes, you will arrange for everything. You will check what happens to the dependents and so on. If anybody needs your help, that's what will happen. So the technical word for this kind of state of mind is equanimity. The awareness brings the person, the seeker or the practitioner, into equanimity. Everything becomes equal. Some people will say it's very boring. Yes. If you are not doing it, simply watching others looks like it is boring, but the person who is in this state will say it is peaceful and blissful. Otherwise, people who don't have knowledge and who don't do this kind of practice, they are like a dry leaf in a cyclone, in a storm. They are like a dry leaf. So anyway, then nothing wrong. Who are we to say it is wrong? It is not wrong. But there are some practical benefits of awareness practice, and that is why it is recommended. In some paths, they will say, what are you practicing? You are the experiencer. Will experiencer practice anything? Practice means you are still attached to the body mind. You are doing something there to improve it or to get into equanimity and so on. You're trying to benefit from this thing. These are hardcore people. It is not possible for a newcomer to simply be the experiencer. There will be some issues. There will be some attachments. There will be some bondage, identification. So the awareness practice is simply a tool to slowly bring that practitioner or the seeker out of this situation. For many people, it will not happen immediately that they are established in knowledge. Very rare. The goal of awareness practice is not to change your behavior, not to become a good person, not to fix things in the world and so on. That is not the aim. And it can be a side effect of that, equanimity. And the real effect of awareness practice is detachment. But what if somebody takes away your family member, let us say? Now there is no detachment there. Because you are totally attached to your family members. What to do in such cases? We let that attachment to be there because that is practical, isn't it? No guru will say that let it go. What is the use of your family members? From the point of view of the existence, it is just speck of dirt. Nobody likes this thing. Nobody likes this kind of knowledge. So the guru drops down to the level of the seeker. The guru says, okay, do the right thing and take precaution. It should not happen next time. It is all practical. Sunil is saying, due to our past habit, we keep reacting to situation. The awareness will replace reaction with proper action. There is a difference between reacting impulsively and taking an action. It will not make you inactive. The awareness practice will not make you like a rock inactive. You will take an action. However, it will not be impulsive. It will be an intelligent action. When will this happen? How many days it takes? It can take many lifetimes to get rid of all the impressions And the past habit is also called past impressions. It is also called sanchit in Sanskrit. In English, we call it storage. I could not find any good word. Memory storage. Sometimes we call it causal memory. That causes everything. So it is causal memory or simply storage. So it can take many lifetimes to burn out that storage. And then some people will say, well, technically that is the true liberation. Some paths, they will say, burning out of the whole storage so that nothing remains to do, no actions will happen, including births and deaths. That is the complete liberation, nirvana. However, on path of knowledge, we take a shortcut. We simply disidentify with this thing to whom the storage belongs. Actually, it belongs to nobody. You can contemplate on this thing. So we achieve the nirvanic state right now. If you want, you can do that right now. That will be called the Jivan Mukta state. Nothing is mine. Still, this body-mind machine will keep working. Nothing happens to it. It will not fall dead. Kulpreet is asking, you mentioned in one of the classes to move away from arguments and keep on your path. We are all surrounded with things that are not right. Is keeping on path and let others pursue his her lessons. Good way to be. Yes, excellent way. Yes. There are exceptions when that person is your dependent, isn't it? Let us say child. Do you not want to correct your child? And the answer is yes. If that child is doing something wrong, it is our duty to correct. You cannot simply say that, do whatever you want. My guru told me. No, that is not the teaching. So in some exceptions, you will need to do it. You will need to guide that person. Otherwise, you leave them. You see, those who are not dependent on you, even if they are children, you leave them because they are not your responsibility. What if you are a teacher in a school? Yes, you will need to tell them, study well, otherwise you will fail, do the homework. That is because that is your duty. So accept such situations where it becomes necessary to intervene. You leave people as they are. They are perfect. They are okay. From our point of view, it is not right. But from their point of view, everything is okay. From their point of view, you are not right. So that is why. If your goal is spiritual progress, you leave behind everybody because you cannot take everybody with you. It's impossible. Probably their path is different. They are going in some other direction. How can we force people to come with us? It's not possible. And it is not ethical also. Is it ethical? No. So everybody is progressing. Everybody is learning. They have their own lessons. We have our own. So why not focus on our own? Like they say, mind your own business. So mind your own spirituality. This is especially true in the field of spirituality. Do not interfere in others' spirituality, in others' path. That has very bad consequences. It is called the bad karma. So in worldly matters, yes, sometimes you will need to, like in the case of children and so on, your family members, it has no consequences, not severe consequences. But spiritual things have heavy consequences. Suppose somebody is doing some practice. He is guided by the guru, his guru. He is progressing, even if a little bit. You go and interfere. No, this your path is garbage. You come on path of knowledge. I'll teach you who you are. Now, this kind of interference is very bad, isn't it? Same way, if somebody tries to move you from your path, they will pay the price. It is very bad. Why is it? Why the worldly things are, don't matter much, but the spiritual things matter? Because it goes deeper in the illusion. The worldly things are shallow kind of illusion, but the spiritual stuff is a deeper illusion. It has deeper effects. And I obviously cannot prove it right now, and there's no evidence for it. But I just wanted to add this thing. Especially do not interfere in spiritual matters of others. That is recommended. What if you are the guru? What if you are the teacher? Still, same thing. If the person is not asking, sir, tell me what is this? I want to learn this. He is coming here. He is approaching the Guru for knowledge. Only then the Guru will open his mouth. Otherwise, the Guru goes nowhere. Have you seen any Guru who goes everywhere and says that, okay, learn from me? No. The Guru sits and people come to the Guru. The Guru will never go to the student comes to the Guru. That's the rule. And now, this is the practical example, and you can take it as evidence why they don't do this. Is it good to keep everybody in ignorance? Simply sit here in meditation, awareness. I'll not go there. Let him come if he wants to come. Is that attitude good? Everybody will, people will say like this. But the Guru knows. The Guru knows that if I interfere in the destiny of that person, there will be consequences, very bad consequences. And moreover, that person will not progress. If he is an ignorant person, superstitious person, hardcore religious kind of person, he will become even more hardcore. That somebody is trying to brainwash me in this spiritual stuff, mumbo jumbo. He will become even more bitter and hard. It actually causes harm if you teach or interfere in somebody's progress. That's why the Gurus are seen usually doing nothing. Kulpreet is saying, when we lose loved ones, how do we help ourselves? What actually happens to them? What can we be beyond our deep pain to real understanding, realization? Oh, well, you don't need to help yourself because you are still there. You are healthy and fine. You help the people who are dependent on the person you lost. That's all. Anyway, that is my personal opinion. Possible that people will not like it. No, I am in pain. I am suffering. I am sad. I am crying. And that is your fault then. Why are you doing that? So what actually happens to them? Nothing happens to anybody because there was nobody. It is your ignorance to think that there was somebody and somebody died. It is the double ignorance to think that I need help because somebody died. No, you are whole and complete. What do you need? So my advice is to remember knowledge, be in awareness. Probably you cannot be in awareness right now because you are not in that step. You are not trained. That is why you are asking. Otherwise, nobody will ask this question. Yes, but you must help others, especially those who dependent on that person. Now, there is no source of income, let us say, or they are in shock. Somebody is in bad health and so on. You need to help them. Don't be selfish. Nothing happens to anything. The dirt goes to dirt. That's all happens. The illusion disappeared. The essence is you. Everybody's essence is one. It never goes away. It never changes. It is eternal. There are no other people. Your other question, second question is, I cannot understand it. Can we be beyond our deep pain to real understanding? Probably you're asking, how can I come out of the pain into real understanding? And that is why there is awareness practice. Like I said, it has an equalizing effect. Now, the awareness will not magically remove the pain that, I'm happy, everybody died. No, that never happens. Why should it happen? Awareness practice is not magic. So, there will be pain, but it will not make you crazy. You will be well behaved, very steady, very logical, practical. That is the job of awareness. It will not cause destruction of our natural abilities to feel pain or to feel sadness or happiness or pleasure. No, it does not destroy. It equalizes equanimity. That will happen with practice, non-stop practice, strong practice of awareness. And there won't be any awareness if there is no knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge means it is true for you. The teachings, you have verified them as true. You found them correct after examining, investigating from all angles. That is the verification. And if there is no guru, there is no hope of verifying or even listening to the teaching. So everything starts with the guru. Take the teaching, do the contemplation, then the practice, then comes the practice. And after a long practice, very long, many years of practice, many lifetimes, you will reach this position where pain is not pain, pleasure is not pleasure, happiness is not happiness, and suffering is not suffering. By that time, we are no more human, probably. That is beyond human. Right now, everything will be felt, all actions will be taken, the good and bad will be there, death and birth will happen. But it's not a big problem because it's all illusion. And you are a seeker, you are a student. So there is no expectation right now that you will become like this, a master in one day. Not possible. So, long practice. Before the practice, you prepare the ground for the practice. That is understanding and the knowledge and realizing what was taught. Is it true or not? That is your main, that should be your main objective. That should be your target. And not deaths of people and pains and pleasures and so on. That is far away. So if you go step by step, there is some hope of becoming like that, which you are dreaming of. What if nothing happens? What if I remain the same person which I am? Absolutely perfect. That is how it should be. Expecting a change in the person, making this person behave in some other way rather than what is natural for that person is ignorance. What if the person is behaving a wrongful way, harming, in a harmful way? Yes, do something about it. But that does not take self-realization. That takes a little bit of intelligence, that's all. So there is a path for these kind of people who want to change this body-mind into something else. That is called the path of self-improvement, not path of knowledge. In path of knowledge, there will be some side effects. No improvement is guaranteed. What is guaranteed? Destruction. This body-mind will be completely destroyed along with its impressions. I think nobody wants that. They want liberation while keeping everything as it is, plus making it better. Upgrade, like you upgrade your software, more features. That's what people want. And that is why this path is not for everyone. It will be destroyed. How many people are ready in our group for this kind of thing? So check. However, in every step, you have the freedom to change your path. Go to self-improvement if that is more important for you. On the path of knowledge, nothing is improved. It is destroyed. Some practical things will be told, this is happening, I'm in deep pain and so on. Now, Guru will do something about it. Guru will tell you something, some practical stuff. But that is not path of knowledge. So a really hardcore guru, like Zen type gurus or very strict gurus will beat up the student. What deep pain? What deep pain? I told you to relieve the pain of others. Go and serve others, solve their problems, relieve their pain. Don't come to me with your deep pain. Guru will beat up that student. That is path of knowledge. Very brutal. But fortunately, our version is very simple. You will be given teachings, then you will be left on your own. What about me? What about me? This thing will be gone. This will be gone. How should I do this? How should I behave like? These questions will be completely gone. If you stay on path, if you practice, if the knowledge really happened, all this me thing will be gone. Not only me, others will be gone. The trees, the birds, the insects, nothing will matter now. Because the truth was realized. Because the illusion and the meaninglessness of everything was seen. Has it happened? If not, listen again. Check again. Is it true? Is it really illusion? Are there really no other people? Is really no death, no birth, nothing? Is there a need to improve something in this vast existence, which is me, which is all perfection? Verify all these things. That is my recommendation. It will not solve the problems, or it will not solve the pain or pleasure or whatever death. It will make you equanimous. It will ground you in the reality instead of this madness. Instead of living in ignorance, you do the same living, exactly the same thing in knowledge. There is no other use of path of knowledge. So hopefully it is appealing to everybody. Everybody is enjoying this path, even though completely useless for many things. It has spiritual significance that everybody should understand, not worldly significance, not to improve something, not to change something here in the world, in the illusion. It has a spiritual significance. One day I was talking about this thing. Everybody should go back and listen to that episode, that meeting. There is recording available where I told in a lot of detail the spiritual significance of awareness practice. What will it do really? So yes, the newcomers, they do not know all these things. It is very natural. Those who are interested, they can try to know what this practice will do, what this path will do, what are the final fruits of the path. Knowledge is the immediate fruit, but there are other fruits. Thing is, no evidence can be produced that this will happen. You won't even find a guru who is like this, which the people are claiming on path of knowledge. They are all ordinary people. So it is very difficult. That's why we do not tell all these things. This will happen, that will happen. Spiritually, you will become this. No, we don't know really. So we practice. Some people will get the glimpse of future. What will this thing become? The seeker. What will it become? It is not a person, remember. It is something. At least it is not nothing. It is something. It is some kind of illusion. And that illusion is evolving. What will happen to this? That is a secret, isn't it? Mysterious. Some people will get the glimpse of it. So it looks like there are no questions now, and we are running out of time today. So we'll end today's meeting here. Hopefully, this discussion will encourage you to contemplate and decide again, what is my path? Do I really want this? Think about all these things. And I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's satsang. Namaste.